it's Laura Jean again, coming here with an update for you guys. It's been a while since I've updated you, and a lot's happened in the last months. We have moved into our house finally. It's handicapped accessible, ramp out front, and it's working really well for us. One difference is that the floors are a little more slick in here, and there's more of a bump going from the linoleum or the vinyl to the carpet, and that's difficult for me to navigate with my walker, and it's hard for me to use my walker because it's slick to get up, and it's too cold now for me to not have socks on. So I've been using a wheelchair more. Also because I've been walking with my knees locked when I use my walker because my muscle strength isn't great, and after a while that starts hurting your kneecap. So I have been in the wheelchair more, and I just a couple days ago got my new power wheelchair from paid for by my insurance. So this is it in all its glory. Yep, now I can go dancing. And some people were wanting to know how my strength was going. My left hand now is a little bit more weak, along with the other one. I can't hold it upright very well when I turn it over. I'm still able to do some things with my hands, still able to eat and such. I can't lift my legs up, like I can't lift my knee up, or so I have to have someone help me lift them up to get into a car or change like that. And let me see here. I did notice some differences in swallowing when I was sick recently. Right now it's okay, but it kind of gives me a warning, a heads up for where to keep an eye on for the future. And the wheelchair, I really did not want to get into it when I first got it. Kind of had it on the side and tried to use it as little as possible, but now that I've been using it, it really does open up more possibilities for me, and I am grateful for it as much as I prefer to be walking. Right now, it's a really good fit for me. As for testing and such, I did several tests over the past few months. One was an immune system, I want to say CD57, and comparing the different levels of how my immune system is responding to what's going on in my body. And part of my immune system is depressed in a way that makes some practitioners suspect a disease like Borrelia from Lyme disease. I did also do a test from DNA Connections based out of Colorado, which does a DNA assay looking for the Borrelia bacteria, and that did come back positive for just Borrelia, none of the co-infections common in Lyme. Does that mean if I treat myself with antibiotics that I will regain my strength? I don't think that's necessarily true. There are stories of people that have done that. Dr. David Martz is one, but I have also heard of other people who have gone on antibiotics trying to treat what has appeared as Lyme disease, ALS caused by Lyme disease, and they've gotten worse. So I kind of take those results calmly and look at them as something that I will continue to look into treating, but not where I'm gonna totally say, hey, that's it, and it will get me better if I treat that, because ALS is a more complicated disease, I think, than just normally treating a bacterial issue. So for testing, I think that's about all that's new in my world. As for alternative treatments, I've tried some new ones. Right now I'm doing some detoxes. I started with a colon cleanse and then a liver cleanse, and I'm on blood and then going to lymph, and just with herbs, and I'm still on my Lyme disease regimen that I'm following what's his name? Anyhow, it's an herbalist, and I'm blanking on his name. And taking antioxidants, astaxanthin, and glutathione. Haven't noticed anything huge of a help with those. I did try a Photon Genius, which is a type of light sauna, which has mixed science reviews for it, but I thought I'd try it anyway. I didn't quite realize it was a sauna going in. Had I known that, I would have been more gentle with my approach. I felt like it was too strong for my body, and I felt like it was reacting negatively with any oxidative stress that I might have in my body. Is causing twitching to increase, kind of like what's happening for me with the hyperbaric chamber. I know that some people with ALS say the hyperbaric chamber is useful and has helped them heal, but for me, I've seen more twitching and more pronounced twitching when I use it. So I'm going to take a break and not continue with the Photon Genius for now, at least. Maybe continue later if my body is stronger. I do think sauna-like things can be helpful if they are very gentle, and just have to be careful with that. So my next plan is to go to Colorado, and I'll be doing some IV treatments, mostly based on with bacterial infections, whether it's the chlamydia pneumoniae or the Borrelia or whatever else, mycoplasma, that I have tested positive for. We'll be using silver and also using some supportive IVs, which would be phosphatidylcholine and B vitamins and glutathione, again, as an antioxidant. So we'll see if that does anything good while I'm there in Colorado. I might try some medicinal cannabis as well. South Dakota tried to pass medicinal cannabis about 4 years ago, and I voted against it. Now I look at the qualities that it has, and it seems to be a really good fit for something to treat ALS, where the system is a little too excited and needs to be calmed down. And there does seem to be something going on with the opioid receptors, and being able to block those seems to be a good thing. Not sure how that relates to ALS, but also there's anecdotal stories of people claiming that it has helped them slow progression, and I'm willing to try it, especially if I can find ways of trying it that don't get me high. Also, I am interested in some probiotic treatment and maybe looking into doing some of that. I am doing some basic probiotics, but I'm talking about something perhaps more intense. I have looked into fecal transplants. Very interesting, but like many of the alternative treatments, and that's not totally alternative, that's used in mainstream medicine as well, but if I were to do it on my own, it's hard to know who to choose as a donor, and then it's hard to know if I would be changing my microbiome in a way that would be beneficial to my body or harmful. And like a lot of the treatments, I take the risk of harming myself further. We'll see what happens. So, of course, my brain's been going a lot. I've been trying to figure out this disease, and life's going on. My family's continuing to grow up, and I'm getting time with them. Praise the Lord. And thank you for continuing to go on this journey with me. And I'll keep you posted on how things go, especially in January. I've been blessed to be surrounded by a lot of amazing people, from my clinic team, to my neurologist, to the hospitals in the area, the ALS support groups, the MDA, and people out there commenting on the videos. And I guess I'll say a little comment here. For those of you who believe in Christianity, as I do, and see comments that pretty obviously are from people that don't agree, you don't need to feel like you need to support me. I'm always reminded that Jesus's harshest words toward people were toward those of the religious community, of those who grew up and were steeped in religion, not Christianity, Judaism at that time. Anyhow, so I think those who believe what I believe in Christianity, we have the most power to do the most harm by legalism and by not approaching others with grace. So just a call to those of you who watch my videos to see the beauty and even the difficult comments that are left sometimes, because sometimes there are gems inside those difficult comments. And I hope to go into one of those with my next video. And that's about it from the home front. One more thing. There's a book I've started reading, When the Body Says No, and it's talking about how your body reacts to stressful events. And it talks about ALS, and it talks about common themes that some people have noticed in ALS patients. And this, again, is anecdotal and not been studied thoroughly, but talking about different characteristics such as being very independent, not wanting to ask for help, going until just going and going and going, shutting down emotions, or having frozen emotions, not being able to express especially negative emotions properly. And it was really interesting for me to read the perspectives in that book. I feel like I saw a lot of myself in their descriptions of people who commonly get ALS. You know, it can kind of be like a horoscope. You just see yourself in anything they write, but they might have something at least helpful for me. For me, what I take away from it is that this is especially an area of my brain that I can change, that the way I approach negative emotions, the way I approach asking for help, I don't like to. That's something that I can work on, and it can change the structure of my brain. A lack of holding high levels of cortisol for long periods of time in my brain can change the makeup of my brain. And again, that goes back to that awesomely long word, I'm going to say it wrong, psychoneuroimmunology, something like that. Okay, I botched it. Oh well, that's me. Anyhow, I find that very interesting. So this is all. This is my update, and I hope to talk to you soon. My next video will probably be more about religious issues. So for those of you who like that, tune in. For those of you who prefer not to, skip it. Merry Christmas, and talk to you guys later. Bye.